Welcome to On This Day in Tudor History with me, Claire Ridgway. Now, today's event actually happened in the Stuart period, but it's about a Tudor man. For on this day in history, the 27th of April 1609, Sir Edward Michelborne, Member of Parliament, soldier and adventurer, died. Oh, I'd like to be known as an adventurer. That sounds really good, doesn't it? Now, Michelborne had become ill in January that year and he made his will in March. But who was he? I hadn't heard of him before I started researching for my book. So let me give you an overview of his life and career. Sir Edward Michelborne was born in Queen Elizabeth I's reign in around 1562, and he was the eldest son of landowner Edward Michelborne of Sussex and his first wife Jane Farnfold. In 1580, at around the age of 18, Edward entered Gray's Inn in London, one of the 4 inns of the court. At some point, Edward married Anne Shelley of Pelham in Sussex, and the couple went on to have 2 sons, Edward and Richard. In 1591, Edward served as a soldier in the Netherlands, and he served as a Member of Parliament for Bramber in Sussex in 1593. In 1597, under the patronage of Robert Devereux, 2nd Earl of Essex, one of the Queen's favourites, Michelborne commanded a warship named the Moone on a voyage which has become known as the Islands Voyage or the Essex Raleigh expedition. It was an unsuccessful naval campaign sent to the Azores against the Spanish. In 1598, Michelborne was back in the Netherlands serving as a captain. He left there in the spring of 1599 and went to Ireland to serve under Essex, who'd been appointed Lord Lieutenant there. Essex knighted him in Dublin in the summer of 1599. In late 1599, Thomas Sackville, 1st Baron Buckhurst, who also acted as a patron to Michelborne, recommended Michelborne for the post of Principal Commander for the maiden voyage of the newly formed East India Company. But he was unsuccessful, although Michelborne was allowed to invest. Michelborne's patron Essex led an unsuccessful rebellion against the government in February 1601, in which Michelborne was implicated. Essex was executed as a traitor, and fortunately for Michelborne, he got away with imprisonment and a fine after claiming he'd only gone to Essex's home to hear a sermon. After Queen Elizabeth I's death in 1603, the new monarch, King James I, made Michelborne a gentleman pensioner, and in June 1604, the king granted him a royal licence to discover the countries of Cathay, China, Japan, Korea and Cambodia, and to trade there. Michelborne set sail in December 1604 with famous navigator John Davis as his pilot in the Tiger and taking a second ship, the Tiger's Whelp. It wasn't really a voyage of discovery, it was more about plundering. Michelborne plundered Dutch settlements in Indonesia and also a Chinese ship which was on its way to Java. If you remember my talk from the 29th of December, you'll know that the Tiger was attacked by Japanese pirates off the coast of Borneo. Davis was killed in hand-to-hand combat before the pirates were driven off by cannon fire. Michelborne then decided to head home, arriving back in England on the 9th of July 1606. Following his return, Michelborne settled in Hackney, where he died on this day in 1609. He was laid to rest at the Church of St John at Hackney, which was replaced in the 18th century by a new building. I'll give you a link to my talk from the 29th of December on the Japanese pirate attack on the Tiger, which you might find interesting. Also on this day in Tudor history, the 27th of April 1584, civil lawyer and judge David Lewis died in London, and you can find out more about him in last year's video, which I'll give you a link to. And if you're interested in Queen Anne Boleyn and her awful fall in 1536, I'll give you a link to today's video on her fall as I count down to the anniversary of her execution. Thank you for joining me. You can subscribe by clicking that button just about there. You can hit the bell to be notified as these videos go live, which is on a daily basis at the moment. And you can give me a like and leave a comment. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.